It was a howling wild day, I remember. 100 by the anemometer. The wind was tearing up the dead pines and sweeping them away. It's a bit feeble, Dan. Well, come on, man, speak up. What is it you want from me? I have to put up my holly. Well, to make it short, it finally transpired that what he wanted from me was bread for his brass. Bread. But I have no bread. It doesn't agree with me. Good. Then perhaps a little corn. That should do it. Corn, yes, I have corn, it's true, in my granaries. But use your head. If I give you some corn, a pound and a half, you bring it back to your child and you make him, if he's still alive, a nice pot of porridge. A nice pot and a half of porridge full of nourishment. Good. The colours come back in his little cheeks, perhaps, and then I lost patience. Use your head, can't you? Use your head. You're on Earth. There's no cure for that. It was an exceedingly dry day, I remember. 0 by the hygrometer. Ideal weather for my lumbago. But what in God's name do you imagine? That the earth will awake in spring, that the rivers and seas will run with fish again, that there's manna in heaven still for imbeciles like you? Gradually I cooled down, sufficiently at least to ask him how long he had taken on the way. 3 whole days, good. In what condition had he left the child? Deep in sleep. But deep in what sleep? Deep in what sleep already? Well, to make it short, I finally offered to take him into my service. He had touched a chord. And then I imagined already that I wasn't much longer for this world. Well, here, if you're careful, you might die a nice natural death in peace and comfort. Well, in the end, he asked me, would I consent to take in the child as well, if he were still alive? It was the moment I was waiting for. Would I consent to take in the child? I can see him still down on his knees, his hands flat on the ground, glaring at me with his mad eyes in defiance of my wishes. I'd sooner finish with the story. Unless I bring in other characters. Where would I find them? Where would I look for them?